Hello, it is Wednesday, July 19th, 2023. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Wednesday crossword today, so a midweek, mid-difficulty themed crossword. And this midweek themed edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Henrik Koskinen, David Innes, Josh Lucas, and, as always, the indomitable Shoalmaster and the incredible Coherent family. And for the last time, thank you as a supreme benefactor to Timothy Mark, who is stepping away from his supreme benefactorship. But thank you so much to him for all of the generous support of this channel. It's been hugely appreciated. So thank you again. And take care with everything else going on in your life. Thanks for letting me know you were stepping down. But again, thank you for all the support to this point. And thank you to everybody, of course, who's a patron of the channel. I do really appreciate it. It does keep this thing going, so thank you for that generous support. If you'd like to consider becoming a Patreon supporter yourself, you can head over to patreon.com/dailysolve or click the link in the description field underneath the video. There, of course, you can find the patron bonus videos, as well as the Let's Check the Crosses mug for benefactors. And do also subscribe to the channel if you've not gotten around to that. That's a big help. And you can join the Daily Solve Discord chat server. There's a link in the description field to that friendly chat community. So thanks to everybody who's done any of those things. And now let's get on to the crossword. This is a Wednesday puzzle, a themed grid by Billy Bratton. It was edited, as always, by Will Shorts. Oh, Billy Bratton, about half a dozen puzzles to his name, I think. And as I say, edited, as always, by Will Shorts. So let's start solving. See what's in store for us today. Began devouring, say. Well, you dug into a plate of food, maybe. Let's look at the crosses on that. Ruler of a mythical underworld. The devil? Mythological underworld. I don't think it would be that. Let's see. A court may be in the middle of one. Maybe dug in is incorrect, actually. Look of a room. Yeah, this doesn't seem right. The look of a room, maybe it's decor. I want the ruler of a mythological underworld to be Hades from Greek myth. That began devouring, say. Oh, had at. I had at it. That's actually better than dug in, because you could say, I began devouring the meal. I had at the meal. But you couldn't say, I dug in the meal. You'd have to say, I dug into the meal. So actually, that doesn't match. So my guess was incorrect. My guess was invalid. A court may be in the middle of one. An arena, sort of a sports arena. We blank blessed him. I mean, it looks like we are so blessed. I don't recognize that, but it seems plausible. So let's try it. Big blank, serious favor. It's a big ask, a serious favor, you might say. And sorry, not sorry. Too bad, I guess you could say. I'm not sorry, too bad, deal with it. Oh, that was a strange coincidence. Deal with it is exactly the clue that I just went on to read. How odd. Deal with it. Deck of cards. You use a deck of cards to deal. You literally deal cards with a deck. So it's italicized, and usually italicization means theme clues. So presumably our theme will have something to do with idioms like this. Deal with it. But even in general, even when it's not part of the theme, exclamation points like this, especially necessarily without quotation marks, they tend to mean that they operate in this way where the clue is sort of a statement about the answer rather than a definition of it or a synonym for it. So deal with it. You deal with a deck of cards. Rummage around. My first guess would have been root around. What is this? I'm not sure. Morph into. If you morph into something, you become it. Event often in caps on a syllabus. An exam, I suppose. In a school syllabus. Can't miss. And not even. Odd. If a number's not even. And my first thought was, it's not even true. But no, that's not it. We're looking for a number that is not even. Sign of love in Latin America. Beso, a kiss. And can't miss. Sure something? Yes, it is, because to drip with a particular emotion is to exude it. And to respect somebody or something is to esteem them or it. Desert or tundra, those are biomes, the sort of ecological properties of an area, I suppose. Rummage around. Oh, file around? I don't know if that's right. A comment may be dripping with it. No, it wasn't right because this is sarcasm. Oh, fish around. Of course, that's the clue. And here we have another italicized theme clue. Stick with it. Adhesive tape? Yes. So adhesive tape, often colloquially referred to by the brand name Scotch tape, or you could use sellotape, but yeah, sticky tape basically. Can't miss. It's a surefire solution. It's a can't miss solution, you could say. You dig? Feel me, you could say. There we go. And it's a good clue because it's a slang formulation, you dig, and so it kind of matches feel me, which is also a slang term. They correspond well. Lead into country or rock. Alt country or alt rock, I suppose. Alternative country, alternative rock. Opinions could be takes in the modern parlance. Creator of a spread. A something maker, clearly. So it could be food. Oh no, it's not. It's odds, right? My two first thoughts were food, or I was thinking maybe a spread in a magazine, the open pages, but no, it's the odds, the spread, the bookmaker who takes bets. Dynamite Hitmakers 2020. I mean, I don't recognize this specifically, but I'm just in three letters starting with a B in 2020. My guess is BTS, the Korean boy band. All right. If something breaks down, or if one breaks something down. Oh, if a person breaks down, they sob. So, right. She breaks down, she sobs. I'm on to you now. Oh ho, you could say. Fortune teller's sphere could be an orb. A fortune teller could have a kind of glass or crystal orb. And a winning feat achieved twice by the Green Bay Packers, 1929 to 31 and 1965 to 67. A three-peat? I mean, I know that phrase in a general sense. I don't actually know what it particularly refers to in football, right? The Green Bay Packers. So I'm actually not sure what this refers to. They did something three times and it was impressive. Jennings of Jeopardy. Ken Jennings, I've heard of, I think. Sort of very successful Jeopardy contestant. Tips are ends, the end of a stick. That's tip. Part of many a friendship bracelet. You could have beads on a bracelet. And prominent instrument in these boots are made for walking. The bass, because that song has a walking, appropriately, a walking descending bass line, I believe. So that's probably the answer. Liberal things. You could have liberal arts, the humanities, areas of study. Get on with it. Too open-ended at this point. Not enough crosses to have a good idea. Defend the hive in a way. Swarm. Bees could swarm to defend the hives. So what is this? Quick cut. Maybe it's not swarm. Maybe it's sting. Maybe the bees, having swarmed, they sting the intruder. That's probably the answer. Quick cut is a trim, yes. If someone's not good, they could be evil. And fast pitch is a spiel. So a pitch in the sense of pitching an idea or a business or something like that. So you're making your case quickly. You're delivering your spiel. Kind of mark. And be forlorn. To be forlorn is to, I don't know, despair, I'm not sure. Analogous, if something's analogous to something else, it's akin to it. And a kind of mark, a skid mark, maybe. That could be the answer. You could sort of tire skids of a vehicle. Make cryptic, to encode something would be to make it cryptic. To sort of disguise it numerically or in some other way. Be forlorn is to pine away. You could pine away, you could be forlorn, you could be overcome with sadness. And kitchen wrap, question mark. So wrap could mean to complete something, to be finished. Is that what it means, or is it something else? I mean, obviously you think kitchen wrap and you think, kitchen roll, plastic, not kitchen roll, but like a plastic wrap, I guess is more what I mean. Saran wrap is a common brand. So what is this referring to? I don't know. Roll with it. A wheel, some kind of vehicle. Slowpoke. A snail you could use metaphorically to refer to somebody who's slow. Like a cutie patootie, adorbs. There's another bit of fairly modern slang. Adorable, contracted. Roll with it. I don't know. Stringed instrument in some psychedelic music. A sitar was commonly used in, I guess, 1960s psychedelic music. Record label for Diana Ross and Elvis Presley. Is it MCA? Is it MCA or RCA? What am I thinking of here? Get on with it. A 2006 animated film that really should have starred Adam Driver and Parker Posey cars, because, of course, you could drive a car or park one. Very good. Gritty film could be noir, film noir. A favorite genre of mine, I must say. Typically associated with post-war American film, although there were also mid-war noir films, and there were noir films from many countries, in fact, but most classically associated with post-war, low-budget, gritty, often cynical American film. Okay, one getting pwned often, so this is a sort of, I don't exactly know what this, I think it might be a kind of misspelling of the word owned, because O and P are next to each other on the keyboard, so it's a typo. I've never entirely understood if there's another implication behind this, but it's kind of online slang to mean, you were you're beaten decisively. So a noob, a newcomer, a newbie, which can be spelled either N-E-W-B or N-O-O-B. Either way, it ends with B. So let's see if we can figure out the rest. Electrical units, are they ohms? And that would make this noob N-O-O-B, which makes sense because that's the kind of more corrupted version of the spelling, just as this P here is the sort of corrupted version of the spelling of the original word owned. So I think that matches well, if indeed this is correct. To not be square, say. Not be square. To owe money. And then if you do not owe money, you could say we're square. Classic melodramatic cry. Oh, woe is me. There we go. Kind of stereotypical thing for someone in distress to yell. Seriously, you could say, I meant it. I meant yes. I missed one. What is 3 letters? I meant residue from a barbecue. You could have ash, burned ash. So I mean this. I mean this. Could it be? Therma of Pulp Fiction. No, I mean that. Uma Thurman, the actor of Pulp Fiction. So I mean that. Is that what it is? It's a bit awkward sounding to me, but I think it might be right. Do over of a sort. Yes, a let. So in tennis and maybe other sports, a let, you could sort of do over a serve because of a let when the serve hits the net and goes over. Let's see. Pulitzer winner Bellow. Saul Bellow. There we go, the writer. Okay, so by the way, here's a case, I just wanted to return to this quickly, where we do have this exclamation point clue, but because it's in quotation marks, it's representing something somebody is actually saying. They're expressing it verbally. And so the answer also needs to be something expressed in that manner. In this case, I mean that. This looks like a boarding pass. Yes, you do get on a plane with a boarding pass. So here's our get on with it clue, answered in that thematic way. Hazards are perils, dangers. What some butterfly wings appear to have eyes. That is true. You do see that sometimes on butterflies and moths, kind of patterns that look like eyes, presumably to ward off predators. United. If you're united, you're one. And, roll with it. A bowling ball. You roll a bowling ball. That looks correct to me. Let's check the crosses. Demi blank, ballet move. Plie. Plie is a ballet move, so demi plie would be a half plie, so that would be another ballet move. Seems correct. Kitchen wrap. Oh, an apron. Ah, right, okay. So something you wrap around your body, an apron, to protect it from splashes and things. neuron fiber, an axon. So that's a neurological component of the brain, I guess. Well, not I guess. I mean, it is clearly, but I guess I suppose the I guess was meant to say I kind of vaguely understand what these things do, but I couldn't give you a detailed explanation. The sort of electrical impulses pass along them, right? Wasn't a myth. If something wasn't a myth, it existed. And then karaoke participant would be a singer. A goner. If you're goner, you're toast. So I've learned recently is a fairly recent you're toast, meaning you're a goner, apparently can be attributed to an ad lib by Bill Murray in Ghostbusters. It was slightly different than the line as written, and the way he delivered it was fundamentally different to the way it was written. As it was written, it was much more about sort of a literal metaphor about being toasted like bread, but the concept of you're toast, meaning you're dead or you're a goner, apparently there don't seem to be any attestations of that phrase in the English language prior to that film, which is sort of extraordinary because it feels like one of those things that should have been around forever. But no, it's a relatively recent construction, believe it or not. Seemingly, anyway. So I suppose someone could always find another construction. Another example of it, but it doesn't seem as though there are any known currently. Anyway, yes to Eve would be, so Eve, the French name, so this would be oui, which is yes in French. And a pioneer in calculus notation, Euler. I remember learning kind of Euler notation in calculus. Again, as with the axon and neuron, don't ask me to give you a detailed explanation. It's a concept I remember existing. Humdinger. Dilly? I don't really know what this is. Humdinger is sort of a great example of the thing, but I don't know what it is here. Painter's prop could be an easel. You could put your canvas rested on the easel while painting. And modern love. Oh, this is so the modern's phrase. No, I keep misspelling this. Bay to refer to. Well, it's a term of endearment essentially. So there we have it. Do-over is a retry, so dilly, humdinger. Doesn't really ring a bell to me. It's a real humdinger. That's a real dilly. Yeah, I mean, I believe it, but I don't know it. And there we go. That was the Wednesday crossword. There we go. And a good, solid theme. Not a very complex theme, although it is one where I suppose you do have to think about the clues in the correct way in order to answer them. But it is a category of clue that exists in sort of non-thematic form. In fact, I think it may even have in this crossword. Maybe not. Maybe I'm misremembering that. No, maybe it didn't. It did not. Anyway, that's fine. It's better that it doesn't, so that the theme can remain consistent. But yes, we had to solve these exclamation point clues in which the clue was a statement about the answer rather than a definition of it. So you deal with it, your deck of cards. You stick with it, your adhesive tape. You get on with it, your boarding pass. And finally, you roll with it, your bowling ball. And I suppose the other thing about this theme is that each one of these clues is itself an idiomatic phrase in its own right with a completely different meaning to how we're interpreting in this. So deal with it, stick with it, get on with it, and roll with it. These are all phrases. And in some way, they all sort of have a similar tenor to them. I suppose deal with it less so, but stick with it, get on with it, and roll with it are all sort of things that basically mean just proceed in the circumstances regardless. Deal with it, I guess, does as well. It's saying, you know what, don't worry about the problem, just deal with it. They're all sort of saying, keep going or ignore the problems. So it's actually even more of a more of a coherent theme than I had perceived initially. But there we go. That was the Wednesday crossword. Let me know how you fared with this one in terms of the theme or the difficulty level. I'm always curious to know. And I don't think there were any corrections from yesterday's puzzle in the comments, so that's that for today's video. That's the Wednesday crossword, the Wednesday puzzle. Wednesday video, I should say. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back tomorrow for the Thursday crossword when our theme will likely take on some more complex property. We'll have to come back to find out. Hope you do, but until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Wednesday. Take care.